Have you ever wondered what therapy is like or what your loved ones talk about when they are with their therapist? Well, now you can be a fly on the wall in a real therapy session, an unnoticed observer. During this episode, you'll hear a real group therapy session with a modern twist. Our group therapy sessions are done as a mock podcast where participants are encouraged to have open dialogue about their mental health and addiction challenges. As an observer of this episode, we hope that you will learn something helpful for those among us whose struggles often go unnoticed. All personally identifiable information has been removed for the privacy of the participants. Thank you for listening.
Hey, all right. What's happening, everybody? I missed you guys. Did you miss me too?
Totes.
Yeah, I can feel it. So, all right. Well, I missed you. You look sad. Are you sad?
Totally.
It's a shame. You want to talk about it?
Gee, thanks.
What's up?
It was recorded in the notes that I said something and I can't remember saying it, and I got lectured for it today.
What was it?
Apparently, I called clinical team the B word.
Okay.
And I really can't remember saying it.
Uh-huh.
And I got singled out today and, completely embarrassed. And I just feel like a shitty person.
Well, first of all, that sucks that happened to you. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Sometimes, we get caught up in the moment and say stuff we don't mean anyway, and then you're just, so in that moment that you don't even realize it later on.
Yeah, and then somebody told, they're like, it's okay, you're a child, you say stuff you don't mean, it's okay, but then when I say something that I didn't mean, it's the end of the freaking world.
So you feel like there's a double standard there?
Yeah, I'm like, what gives?
Well, I'm trying to think. I know that that's been me many times, that I feel like I'm on the receiving end of that. I think we all have been there. Where you feel like somebody else is getting, treatment with gloves on, but when it comes to you, you don't wind up here if you never felt like that, I think.
Yeah.
So it probably brings up a lot of stuff for you as well.
Yeah.
About your own family and about how you get treated and stuff. So, I get it. If there is a lesson to learn from it, it's to try and be more conscious about what you're saying, In the moment, we get really caught up sometimes, like I said, emotions take us over. We say stuff we don't mean. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us. It has happened. It will happen. But I guess whenever these things happen and then you get called on it, the thing to take away from it, I think, is to be I'm going to try that much harder now to sort of be have mastery over what I say, Yeah. Because what you say is important, It really is. Sorry, I have a little cramp in my neck. Somebody hit me in my car a few days ago.
What?
So, yeah, nothing too bad. But,
was that a hit and run?
No, it was a hit and pull over and get their insurance, but they, you never hear about those. Yeah, it still kind of messed my neck up a little. But I do think it's really important what we say. I was thinking about it, and I was like, wow, what if it was me running for president? I remember thinking that, what kind of stuff would they find that I've said? Because I don't even know what I've said.
They can find everything, too.
Right? I've said some crazy things, over the years, and, didn't mean them at all, your situation. Just sometimes just to be outrageous when I was younger. I would just say crazy things just to get reactions out of people. I remember I was on the radio in college and I felt like nobody was listening. So I started saying I hate America. Just to see if I would get people calling in and being like, what, you hate America? It doesn't sound so crazy, right? Because you hate America. But that's not the ballsiest thing you can say on the radio. But if somebody nowadays was so you hate America? I'd be like, no, I love America. They'd be like, we have tape of you. You're never running for president. Not that I was gonna, but it's just like, that's just one thing that I remember. And I said it deliberately because I did get people to call in and be like, I'm just trying to get under people's skin, you know? So, like, I didn't even mean it, and I was saying it. Whatever you said, you maybe meant it in the moment, but it sounds like you didn't mean it in your heart, right? Because you're so bummed out about it.
I literally threw up 4 times. I was so upset. Like, just when I get physically really, really upset, it affects my body. So
Yeah.
Like, I threw up. I had to leave because I was yakking. It was gross.
I saw it on your face the second you came in here, so I said you look sad, you know? Like, I could tell. You're really shook about this thing, and I understand that.
I just think that it was taken too personal, and like she is really just, she even said to me, she was like, it's like a slap in the face when a 16-year-old calls you a bitch, and I'm like, how old are you? Like, I don't know, like,
I hear you.
and you take it too personal, like, not that I'm trying to justify anything, but I'm sure people have said worse about clinical team. And like, it's just,
I agree.
and it just,
Like, snaps is a
Snaps means I feel more relatable.
it's like, I feel like it got blown out of proportion.
Jazzy response.
No, because it's true. People definitely have. Sorry.
Look, one thing I think will help is to sit up, for sure. Because the way you're slouched, you're in a sad position. If you are, your body language is sad. If you want to change from being sad, if you want to just live in sad, go ahead and live in sad. I mean, but if you want to stop being sad, take my word for it, like, your emotions will follow your body. Sometimes, you know, your body follows your emotions. If you want to take control over your emotions, you reverse it. Like, try it. Just try it for a second. Sit up straight.
She's like,
And smile. I guarantee you're already feeling a little better.
I don't know about that. You're so smart.
Thank you.
I feel great.
Thank you. See? There you go, everyone. It worked. And she's not being even slightly sarcastic.
She's being sarcastic.
I know.
how you feel?
I just got really bummed. I don't think I could do, like, I could do 30 cartwheels right now and still be upset.
Yeah, it's not a cure-all, but it will help you a little bit to change your body language or change your mood, you know? It's a step in the right direction.
So you tell me if I sit up, I get sad?
If you sat up, you'd be more alert in this group. That's for sure. Alright, so check it. I think you guys will enjoy this story. I have chickens in my backyard, pet chickens.
I own chicken houses.
What?
I own chicken houses.
Nice.
Do you name your
Like
chickens?
800-foot chicken houses
Sounds pretty good.
with like 18,000 chickens in each one.
What? It's a lot more than I got. I got 4.
Yeah.
Well,
Where?
Are you
Alabama?
sure not 1,800?
No, it's 18,000.
Or 18.
I don't.
I
The
have
800-foot chicken houses. I'll show
4.
y'all whenever we get.
4 chickens, not quite 18,000. But I did have another chicken, but it was brutally murdered
By a dog.
by a possum.
So what's stupid chicken?
My therapist.
This happened on 6 months ago.
Oh no.
I heard screaming in the chicken coop. I went out there. One of my chickens was really badly injured, and she dragged herself over to this spot where the possum was hiding to protect the other chickens. Like, in her dying moves, she went right up to the predator so I would see it. So I chased the possum. Remember I told you my dog, the pit bull? She helped me. We got that possum, like, cornered, and the possum was like... And then my dog was like, just go! And the possum left. And then I haven't seen that possum, or any possum, bother my chickens in 6 months. But 5 nights ago, I heard them all screaming for dear life. The girls were going nuts. So, yeah,
The chickens or your
the
kids?
chickens. I call them the
The
girls.
girls.
So I go back there, and I'm like, what is going on? And lo and behold, there's a possum. Now, I don't know if it's the same possum, But in my mind, that's the same possum that murdered my chicken.
Oversized rat.
I'm like, murderer. So I grabbed a stick, and I just went nuts. I was like, I've been quarantined for a long time. I'm losing it over here. This possum's trying to kill.
Did you murder the possum?
I did not murder the possum. This is what happened. Start screaming like a Scottish warrior. You leave my chickens alone, you bastard! You know, and I'm chasing it around. Okay? And I'm running around with this stick, and the possum's running, and it's like running to one corner of the yard to the other corner. I'm like, you murderer! You've messed with the wrong Scotchman on the wrong day.
Did your wife see this interaction?
No, thankfully not. So anyway, I get the possum in the corner. I start hitting it with the stick. And I look at it, and it's quivering for dear life. And I was like, oh my God, I felt like a monster. I just dropped the stick. I'm like, I don't have it in me. I can't be that person. It's just like beating a little helpless animal. I don't even know if this is the possum that killed my chicken or whatever. It's just a wild animal trying to eat. I'm like, I still kept my accent. I'm like, just leave. Go! And don't come back. Alright?
Did he scurry away?
I go in the house. I tell my wife, she's like, did you kill it? I'm like, no, I couldn't kill it. She's like, why didn't you kill it? I'm like, because, like, you should have seen it. It was like trembling and it was cute. I didn't know what to do.
Cute
So
little possum.
she's like, oh man, well, check that it's not still back there. I'm like, no, that possum's gone for sure. I go back there. It's still there. It's like, I'm scared. Don't do anything to me. I'm like, I told you to leave. What the hell's wrong with you? So I'm like, all right. I go back in. I have one of these dog leashes that they give you at the vet where you put it around the dog and then you pull it tight, you know?
Oh, God.
So I use it like a lasso. And I lasso the possum. First try, by the way. I got him. I pull it tight. Now I got the possum on a leash. Okay? But now the possum's getting all crazy possum. Like, I'm a wild animal. I'm like,
was it going dead?
It's on the leash, but now it's like close to me and it's getting all crazy. So I tell my wife, quick, bring the dog's cage from inside. We bring the dog cage, right?
You got a pet possum.
I stand it up. I lift it up by the leash and I try to get it in the cage, but it grabs on with all four legs, like it won't go in. I'm like, give me a broom or something. My wife gives me a mop. I'm like pushing it. I'm like, get in the cage, you know, like. It's like, no! So I push this possum in the cage. Got it locked in there. It's like hissing at me like crazy. It's going crazy. I'm like, man, now what? I just left it out there for the night. I come back in the morning. It's there. It's all cute. I'm like, I guess I gotta give it food and water.
Oh my God, do you have a pet possum now?
Yeah, that's what happened.
You have a pet possum? Are you serious?
But I'm getting rid of it. I am getting rid of it.
Wait, so you still have
I
it?
still have it for 5 days. I've been taking care of this possum.
Wait, did it still hate you?
It hates me, but I've become like attached to it.
That's
and
how it all starts. You say you're getting rid of it, but
No, I really am
2
getting
weeks
rid of
later.
it. You want to see a picture?
Wait, did it play dead? Is that why? Wait, when you lassoed it, was it playing dead?
In the car. I'll show you later.
When you lassoed it, was it playing dead? Do you think?
No, it wasn't playing dead. It was going crazy.
Oh.
It was playing very alive.
Don't they play dead too?
So check this out. Next thing I know, I'm bringing it food and water. Then it starts raining. So I had to build a roof on top of it so it wouldn't get wet and get sick. Then I built a roof on it, and I'm like talking to it. I'm like, I know we got off to a bad start, and I'm sorry I hit you with the stick. And like, my wife's like, what are you doing out there? I'm like, nothing. You know? I'm like putting like insulation up over it. Like, then I come out the next day, and I'm like, oh man, he kind of looks cold. So I said to my wife, I want to grab one of the towels. Which towel can I give to the possum? She's like, none of our towels. Those are good towels. I'm like, it's cold.
So how did you get all this stuff in there without inviting you?
That's the thing. We have an agreement now. I'm just going to open the door for a second. Don't attack me. I'm giving you some food. I'm giving you some water. I'm giving you a towel to cuddle up in.
One of these times he's going to jump at your face.
I know. That's what I'm worried about.
Can you keep it, please? I feel like you guys have a connection.
Well, here's the thing also. I noticed the possum has some bite marks on it from like another animal got to it. So I think it's like I've been recuperating it. My wife made for the holiday a duck, right? So I brought a piece of duck out to the possum today. And she's like, you're feeding it the duck? I'm like, yeah, it's hungry. So I feel like the possum's super confused now. He's like, all right, so wait a minute. I'm not allowed to attack your chickens, but you bring me a freaking duck? Like, what is this? What kind of, like, mixed messages over here?
It's like
You should take it to the vet to see if it has rabies and maybe get it its shots.
The story gets crazier.
Oh my
So,
god, I did that.
right near here, there is a place that I've donated to where they rehabilitate wildlife. They have, like, volunteer vets that come in and help injured animals. So I called them up, and I'm like, I got this possum. Will you take it? And they said, send us a picture. I'm like, what, is this a dating site? Like, you know, like, like, are you going to reject him if he's ugly? Like, what is this?
Probably.
So I sent a picture, and they say, are you right back? They rejected my possum. They're like, listen, we are at a possum capacity. I'm like, that's not a thing.
That's cap.
That's
They
not.
said send us a picture.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not a thing.
Well,
They're
she's
like,
not pretty enough.
we're sorry, we can't take your possum, but we can refer you to, kid you not, the U.S. Possum Society. What?
We got
The
a
hell is
possum
going?
society?
Like, it's getting deeper. Like, I'm like,
You're
what
really
have I
deep.
scratched the surface of?
You're really deep into this possum's life.
They give me the number for a Possum Society of the U.S. Listen to what happens when you call this number. Oh,
You have reached the Opossum Society of the United States Telephone Service. We are all unpaid volunteers working out of the home, so be patient for a return call and be prepared to accept collect charges if necessary.
collect charges.
Even though this system allows for a message to be left, we have no one that logs on to the system to check the message.
So why do you have a message?
She sounds like a mean old lady.
She's a possum crazy person.
Our website is www.opossumsocietyus.org.
I don't know what's going on with these people, but what kind of organization? We are volunteers that have no license that work from home. That's called bums. There's a bunch of bums who happen to like opossums, and they somehow got together because of some kind of secret handshake. And now they have a voicemail that no one knows how to check, apparently. And you call up, and all they do is give you weird possum facts. The possums eat slugs. The possums eat trash.
Hey, but that's actually low-key kind of helpful because now we know they don't have rabies.
Yeah.
I actually could figure it out from Google. Like, I don't know why
Don't need to call the
the
U.S.
Possum Society even exists. Who are these people? And now they have my number. So I call back the wildlife center, and I'm like, you know, the Possum Society is not a real thing.
It's a cult.
And like, you're not going to tell me to call a Possum Society. Nobody's even checks their voicemail. These are just people from their home. I don't know what the heck they're up to, but I don't like it. The whole thing is very rotten, and I don't care for it one bit. I'm like, so here's the deal. I'm like, I donate to you guys, and I'm going to stop donating if you don't take this possum. So then all of a sudden they're like, oh, they're tune changed. They're like, oh, well, send us a picture of its injuries. I'm like, damn it, now I gotta go up to it again? It's gonna, like, you know, it hates me already. So I'm like, I'm walking up to it with the camera. I'm like, alright, I gotta get in close for a picture of your injuries. I'm trying to get you veterinary care. Don't bite me, you know? And it's like, I'm like, stop. I know, I beat you with the stick. It's not right. I know it's not right. But we're past that. We've made amends. You know, like, I've been feeding you. You got duck. Come on. Who gets that? I'm like, you're living the life. You have a towel, a luxury towel. My wife didn't even want me to give you that. We cool?
You're getting cooked food, not just like.
I know, it's not even raw food. Now you're like getting culinary, like, you know, you're getting chef work going on. So the possum, I'm like, I got pictures of the injuries of the bite marks. So I send it back. And lo and behold, magically, because they don't want to lose the donations, they're like, yeah, we can take that possum. Oh, now you can take that possum.
They're just gonna kill it. Don't give it to them.
No, they're not going to kill it. I know these people.
They're like against
they're hardcore
that. Their
nerds.
thing is like
Animal
being
nerds.
against that.
Hardcore animal nerds.
Yeah. So now they're like, yeah, bring it in tomorrow. That means I got to load that possum in my Jeep tomorrow and hope to God that cage doesn't come open while I'm driving.
Oh, shit.
Because then I feel like it's going to take its revenge on me. And then you're like trapped with a crazy possum in a...
It's gonna steal your car.
It's crazy.
Put a lock on it.
What?
Put a lock on the cage.
It's It's like a flimsy cage. I don't know. I'm going to have to do it. And then I'm going to have to leave the cage there and abandon it. Because they say whatever you bring the possum in, you don't get it back. And there's no way I'm transferring this thing into another kind of box. So that's it. It's got me for a towel, my duck meal, a nice dog cage. Possum freaking wins.
Please don't give it away.
I'm giving it away.
Dude, I knew someone that not raised possums, but like.
Were they part of the Secret Possum Society of the U.S.?
No.
Are you a cult member?
Yes. But I literally met someone who had like possums born in their backyard, and the mother just like dipped, and so there was a bunch of baby possums, and so he raised them for a little bit,
cute, baby
and like he raised them for a little bit, but he was like they freaking stink. Like I guess
that stinks.
Like they,
it
like I
smells
guess
so bad.
like, he literally bathes them and like that stuff, but like it still stinks horribly.
What is that?
I don't know.
Why does
it's
it
some
smell
type of weird
so
Possum
bad?
Society.
Yeah, see that's one thing that should be on the voicemail. No, but the person that I knew that had the baby possums washed baby possums
And they
with
still
like,
stuck?
and they still stuck. Like after 2 days after washing them, they stuck horribly again.
Horribly.
Yeah, like he literally
It
washed them with
smells so bad.
with like dog shampoo. Like with the dog shampoo.
My
like,
cousin has a pet
Maybe they
raccoon.
don't like eat
Cousin,
themselves.
well,
like,
I'm not surprised, you know. You have 18,000 chickens. Somebody who has 18,000 chickens definitely has a cousin with a pet raccoon. I want to know how you become a member of the Possum Society of U.S. If you
So I
can't
want a
even
pet
I'm gonna show you.
raccoon.
I feel like
After your
they're-
brother.
Here's your
Wait,
birthday.
so you have a friend that or somebody that has a pet raccoon?
My cousin's got a pet raccoon.
Aren't they so cool?
They're so like
Because you can get them as little babies and then they're domesticated. Like they're fine. Like I really want a pet raccoon. They're so freaking cute. You mean a little like fruits?
If I could choose an animal that I want, I would have a pet penguin
I want
or
a
a
monkey.
kangaroo.
I want a monkey.
Yeah.
Listen, I just thought you guys would like that story and know what's going on in my wild life. So anyway, guys, now that I've told you my story, let me hear what's been going on with you since I've seen you last.
Hillcrest Adolescent Treatment Center, or Hillcrest, is a tranquil rehabilitation oasis for adolescents struggling with addiction, substance abuse, and co-occurring mental health disorders. Our magnificent residential facility is based in the tropical foothills of Agora Hills, California. Hillcrest provides a healing environment that is multifaceted, including the ultimate balance of elegant accommodation, expansive green natural outdoors, nutritious meals, and wholesome healing programs in order to ensure that recovery is deep-rooted and long-lasting. We accept most major insurances, including United Healthcare, Cigna, and Aetna. For more information about the Hillcrest Adolescent Treatment Center, call 888-620-4051 today.
I just want to know if there's anything else I can help you guys with before I leave. Is there anything we could talk about that would be useful to you guys? Anyone?
Tell me
Anybody
I'm not
going through
mean.
anything? What?
Tell me I'm not mean.
Oh, of course you're not mean, Livingston. You're very sweet, but you know, like I said, learn from it. Don't feel bad about it. Learn from it. Like, just be more on top of what you say. Like, be more conscious of your thoughts and of what you say.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my rabbi was from Morocco, and he had a saying. He said in Morocco, they always say, "Twist your tongue 7 times before you speak." It's like an old Moroccan saying. It's to make sure that whatever you say is going to be like really smart. So if you have like doubts about if you should say something or not, and I used to do it when I was a kid. It's really hard to do, like to twist your tongue like 7 times. I was like, okay, that's 1, 2. Anyway, you like lose count, but
I love rabbis.
yeah.
So smart. We should go to Morocco for an outing. I do not want to go on a road trip.
I do not want to go on an 8-hour road
Sorry.
trip with everybody here. You
Yeah,
got
that's
the
what
wrong.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I don't want to be in a car with all of you. I'm so sorry.
It's so hard to coordinate anything in a group because everybody like has such a different idea of what would be fun. Like I've tried to like put groups together, and it's so hard to like ever do anything. Because one person's like, "You should totally do this," and then another person's like, "Yeah, that'd be awesome." And the third person's like, "Totally," and the fourth person's like, "No, I would hate that." And then you're like,
Back to square one.
"Okay."
Well,
So
why
hard.
don't they just compromise?
Yeah. I was gonna say, those
that's
words exactly what trigger me.
I was like, I forgot, and then as soon as I said it, I saw your face, and I was like, oh,
language.
Not back to square one.
What did
What?
you say?
Back to square one.
What?
Because the clinical director said that I am that because I had a small little blip. I'm just telling the truth. It's not a lie. Ugh, wow, I lost my breath. It's not a lie. She said I was back to square one. Which,
She said your thoughts are back to square one.
And are they?
no,
Did you tell them that?
I can't.
Why?
She doesn't work that way. You don't correct her.
Definitely. No, and that's where you definitely go wrong.
That's the thing that's so frustrating is like, this is art. I'm sorry, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Twist your tongue 7 times.
Twist your tongue 7 times.
I still want to say it, but
No, I don't.
Oh, you're just twisting your tongue. How are you, by the way? I haven't heard much from you.
I'm fine.
What's been going on here?
Nothing. I don't know.
What have you been working on?
Communication.
So then it's probably a good idea that we're communicating right now. Is that like a thing that you don't like to talk very much?
Yeah.
Why?
Not like, I don't know. Not about like personal stuff.
Why?
Like, I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable.
But isn't,
Do you feel
correct
like
me
you'll
from, what?
Do you feel like you'll be judged? Sometimes. And sometimes I just don't like, I don't know.
Do you think, am I wrong to assume that everybody's talking about personal stuff around you here all the time?
No, they are.
That doesn't make it more comfortable for you. So let's talk through that a little bit. Like, what are your hesitations there?
I don't know, it just makes me anxious. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't really.
Like, what? Describe it. Describe the anxiety that you go through.
Like, if someone, like, asks me, like, if there's, like, a question or something. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't think that hard. Like, I can't. Like, I think hard about it. Like, or I don't think at all. And then if I think too hard, like, I'm just like, I don't know. I can't. Like,
What would happen if you just, like, got it wrong? Because that's, like, sometimes, like, it almost sounds to me like there's some part of you that's almost a perfectionist about things. Like, you don't want to, right? You're saying, yeah. Like, if you don't answer it, and then that would have been the wrong answer, and so you'd rather just say, I don't know, and then it's like, how come you're not sharing? And it's like, well, what if you just threw it out there, and if it wasn't perfect, it wasn't perfect? Like, have you tried that?
well, they're saying, like, I mean, so I answer, like, most of the questions. It's just, like, they want me to, like, talk. Like, just say, like, stuff, like, randomly. But, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, when to talk. Like, I don't.
What are you like around friends? Are you pretty quiet and shy then too, or are you talkative?
No. Not around friends.
So like when you're just around people in this group, like are you, but not in a group? You talk a lot? Does she talk a lot?
She doesn't. She's not as quiet as she is in groups. But I think she talks outside a group, but just not about personal stuff. Just like when we're playing with slime, we talk about slime. You know.
like you talk about what's at hand, I would say.
Yeah.
Like what's going on. So, like she's able to talk, like converse with us in a group, like not in a group, like as we're just hanging out and stuff. But when it comes to like group stuff, it gets a little bit more quiet.
Has anybody here got, like, can relate to the anxiety that she feels about talking about personal stuff?
I used to. I don't anymore because this is like my third treatment center. So now I'm just like kind of know the drill. But like my first time, I was so weird about it because people are like, "What are you here for?" Like my first time, I was like, "I'm not telling you."
Yeah, you didn't want to talk about it.
I feel that when I first went to rehab, I was the same age as you, and I turned the same age as you turned yesterday in rehab when I first got there.
Birthday.
And I didn't talk like at all. And then I eventually I just kind of realized that
I don't know, like, it wasn't, like, not talking wasn't gonna help me, like, who cares if they judge me, like, you know, like, talking about my personal stuff helps me work through things that I needed to work through that I didn't even know that needed to be worked through. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I don't, like, I think, like, I don't really care if anybody judges me or, like, care, but then it's, like, I'm stuck with everyone, like.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like, I can't, like.
You just feel like you're stuck with everyone knowing your personal stuff?
You'll say something and then you can't get away from it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead, I'm listening. What were you trying to convey?
Like, I don't know how to just explain it. Like, I'm just like I still have to like I don't like talk to everyone like after, and it's just like.
It's like after the fact, you don't want to deal with it. You hear that?
Or like talk about it like after groups, like I don't know.
Does that happen for other people? Like, do you guys wind up talking a lot about whatever you talked about in group after group?
Not really. It depends.
If someone's like struggling, sometimes we keep talking about it, but like a lot of the time we take as much of a break as we can get because we do groups during the weekdays like all day long.
I don't know if this would be helpful to you, Lana, but I feel like what might be helpful to Lana would be some assurance that, like, whatever she talks about in a group, you guys will be respectful not to talk about it outside a group if she doesn't want to. I don't know. I feel like some encouragement, like, in a positive but, like, supportive way from you guys would help a lot. And it's a tough thing because, as everybody kind of knows, like, you can't really make much progress here until you start talking about stuff. Otherwise, you're just sort of chilling here, which is fine, but it's a waste of your time. And then you just wind up going to another one, as has happened to some people here. And I'm guessing if you could go back and tell yourself when you were in that position, you'd be like, talk now. Like, come on, let's get this over with. Like, I don't know. I mean, I want to help. I'm here to help. If you need, I'm always down to listen. I'll always be supportive. I'll give it to you straight, like I do for everybody. Like, I told Livingston, it's like, you know, it sucks, but just don't, like, sit around feeling bad about it. Just learn from it and move on. Like, otherwise you're just going to be miserable for no reason. You decide how long you want to be sad about it, you know? And if you want to prove the clinical director wrong, that you're not back to square one, just bounce back fast, you know? Just bounce back fast. Don't do it with your words, do it with your actions. Be like, yeah, I screwed up, everyone screws up, get over it, you know?
There's no saying that.
Don't say that. Say it with your actions. I'm not saying to say that. That would be disrespectful. I'm saying say it with your actions.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I am not suggesting to anyone to say that. I'm saying to say it with your actions. Like, show them, look, I slipped up, I'm bouncing back fast. You know what I'm saying? This is not about any of the staff. This is about you guys. I'm not, like, how you relate to them has nothing to do with me. It's not my business, and I don't really relate to them in the same way that you do anyway. But it's my contention that if you show them with your actions that you're doing a lot better, that would, you know, as the old saying goes, actions speak louder than words. So Livingston, if you, like, just be all sad about it, like, how's that going to help you? And how's that going to look to them when they see that? It just looks like, oh boy, you know, she's really, like, not back up and running yet, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why my advice still is, like, sit up, smile, be positive, like, train yourself to bounce back from it. Because, you know, you have this inner dialogue that you're not a good person, and this fed into it, and it amplified it. And it brought back all these insecurities that are just like, maybe I do suck as a person and all these things. And all these things that you're trying to fight against in rehab are now being brought back to the surface because of this thing. And it's validating negative thoughts about yourself. Which is why you're, like, asking me if you're a good person. Like, my opinion actually counts. But it's like, obviously you're a good person. Obviously. obviously you're more than a good person. You're a great person, and we all really care about you a lot here.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks negative of you, and everybody messes up. And like I said, you learn from it. Either you learn from it or you don't learn from it. If you don't learn from it, you're just going to keep screwing up the same way again. Or you learn from it. And then you come back stronger and harder. And every single experience you have in life that you actually learn from makes you the person you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you are a great person. The negative voice in your head that tells you otherwise is a lie. And it's waiting for moments like this to thrive on. For all of you. Like, it's just waiting for you to mess up. So that it can be like, see, you are that person. See, you're not that person. First of all, you're the sum of all your thoughts and actions. You're not just one highlighted one that you got in trouble for.
Yeah.
You know, you are not back to square one, but if they think that, prove them wrong.
Yeah.
You know, get up and keep fighting. And Lana, you gotta just push through it. And start communicating, because you can. And I feel like, I might be wrong, but like maybe there are people in your life at home that make you feel like your voice shouldn't be heard. Or make you afraid to voice yourself. Am I right about that? Maybe, kind of, sort of.
Maybe not even at your house, just people from your past.
I don't know, but I feel like your voice should be heard. I think you deserve to be heard. I think for your own sake, like, speaking up and talking about things will help you a lot, and you deserve that help. And, like, I want to be able to help you, you know? I want to be able to help all of you more than anything. That's why I come here every week, you know? I'm like, however I can help you guys, I will. And if I can cheer you up with some stories of possums and stuff to loosen up the mood, I will. But ultimately, I'm not here to tell you possum stories. I'm just here to sort of like create a comfortable environment so I can help you, you know? And that's what I aim to do. And you know my secret. I'm really one of the Possum Society of the U.S. This has all been a big marketing scheme. I don't know.
Can you hire me? I think you're part of the cult.
Pretty
Just trying to
horrible
cover it up.
Can you hire me?
It's just a cult. You just pay membership and you have
How much is
access to the
membership?
voicemail, but
Do you
we
for
tell
real?
people that no one
Okay,
has.
no, wait, hold on. Do you for real have to pay in a cult?
I have no idea.
I don't think you do.
Depends on the cult. I feel like, how do you get those robes?
Aren't like Jehovah's Witnesses.
You know
Okay,
they-
have you thought-
know
what do you
they-
think about
they mark them up
Scientology?
a lot. Oh yeah, Scientology, you gotta pay a lot. I'm pretty sure all cults get your money.
It's a religion.
They may not, don't tell you have to pay. They just keep like hitting you with fees. They're like, robe dry cleaning,
Is a pyramid
$200.
What is Scientology?
It's a stupid. It's a religion.
cult.
It's a religion, but it's actually a cult.
Guys, believe it or not, our group has come to an end. That
Wow.
went very
Well, I'm happy
fast.
to end it on Scientology.
Before everyone just leaves real fast, hear me out. Next week, let's talk about some stuff, you know? Like, we talked about a little bit, but like, Lana, let's talk about some stuff. Like, you have a week. Think about it. Encourage her. You know, group support, you guys.
You're
You've
coming
all
back
been there.
on Thursday, correct?
What?
You're coming on Wednesday, right?
No, I'm not coming this week on Wednesday. I'm going to probably come again next Sunday.
Okay.
But, pray for the possum, guys. And
Pasta.
Livingston, you already know.
That's
Be
what I
cool.
just said.
Just, bounce back, you know? Don't wallow in it.
Harder than ever.
Better than ever.
That's not something
Seriously.
no, but
Apologize to whoever you gotta apologize to, and just be, you know, twist your tongue 7 times before you speak. Moroccan style. And much love to you all. I really missed you guys. I'm glad to be back. You know?
Glad to have you back, Sharkman.
Thank you.
have fun taking care of your possum.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Unnoticed Observer, your window into group therapy. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please leave a rating and review. For all the latest updates and info, follow us on Facebook at Unnoticed Observer Podcast. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week.